Hello, fellow Sudokans, and welcome to Zen and the Art of the Guardian Sudoku puzzle for Monday, the 28th of March 2022. I hope you are having a good start to the week. I'm not. I got up to use the loo in the middle of the night and could not go back to sleep, so I've been awake all night. Sometimes when you really try hard to go back to sleep, try your best. I must get up in the morning, got to go to sleep, It makes it more difficult. And could not get to sleep all night. So I'm quite happy that today's Guardian is the beginner or easy level type. They call it easy level. I usually call it beginner. Um, so anyway, I'm pleased that it's not a tricky one this morning because I don't think I'm really up to it. Hopefully I'll get some sleep later on today. I'll take a nap a bit later on. That means I won't sleep again tonight, no doubt. Anyway, right. So how do we play this game of Sudoku? I can't be bothered to talk about the news. I'm just too exhausted. Anyway, we have rows across here like this. We have columns down here. We have this big 9 by 9 grid. Okay. Now, don't worry if you've never played before. It's nothing to do with maths. You don't need to be good at maths to play this game. It's purely based on logic. And if you can count from 1 to 9, you can play this game. So as I mentioned, there are rows across, there are columns down, and there are 9 squares in each row and each column. And then we have these outlined areas that we refer to as blocks, which also contain 9 squares. So we fit the numbers 1 to 9 in each column, each row, and each block. And because there are only 9 squares, we can fit just numbers 1 to 9. And of course, they must fit uniquely, which is how we play the game. So how do we play the game? How do we find the answers? Well, for example, this block here has 6, 2, 7, and 8 in these 9 squares. We don't yet have a 9. Now we have to consider, can we put a 9 into this block? Because it needs it, right? We must have every digit from 1 to 9. Well, when we examine, first of all, this 9 here in this column, we will see that 9 cannot reappear anywhere in this column. So these two squares are immediately knocked out. You cannot have a 9 in either of these two squares. So that would leave 3 possibilities, right? When we look across to the right hand side here, we can see a 9 intersecting with this square because we have a 9 in this row, and again 9 cannot reappear in this row, and I think you probably noticed this one now. 9 cannot reappear here. So we have this kind of blocking down here, blocking across here and across here. So no to those two squares, no to that square, and no across here. So that just leaves 1 square left. So we know that our 9 has to be placed in that square there. I'm not sure which one is the correct pen to use. Hold on. I think that's the wrong pen. Let me switch to the other one. Right. Okay, got the idea now? 7 blocking down this column, 7 blocking up this column. So no, no, and no. Just one other empty square. Well, we know that we must put our 7 there because it can't go anywhere else. Now, if you do find one empty square and you're convinced the number can go there, it must go there, it can't go anywhere else, please write it in immediately. You don't have to worry about looking for other possibilities because there are no other possibilities. The game is worked out in such a way that there can't be. That's the beauty of it. Right. Okay, now let's try to gather some strength. Right, 5 blocking across here and 5 blocking across here. So these two squares, neither of them can be 5 because of these two 5s here. So we can place our 5, not just can, must place our 5 here if we are going to play the game properly. And there's no other way to play it. If you don't play it properly, you're not playing it at all. You can't play it at all, really. It doesn't work. Right, now there are only 2 empty squares in this block, and there are 2 numbers missing. We've got 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So what we are missing is 1 and 4. That's what we need to finish. So do we see any intersecting 1s or 4s? Have a look. Oh, well done. You spotted that 1 there. So this 1 says that it means that this square here can't be a 1. So we know that 1 has to appear there and 4 has to be in that square just there. Now we take the number that we've just written in, 4, and we know that it blocks down here and 4 blocks down here, and we have a 4 intersecting here. So there's just 1 square down here that can be a 4. Or you could have said 4 across here and 4 across here. That would have given the same result. And very often in Sudoku you'll find you get the same number looking in different ways. Okay, you find the same result, the same answer. Right, where are we now? For newcomers to the channel, there's a lot of easy level games on here, lots and lots that you can go back and practice. And you should also note that I don't play these games ahead of time, so I have no idea what the actual answer is. 7 blocks across here, 7 blocks across here, 7 blocks up here. So that's our 7. And then 7 blocking up here and 7 blocking up here means that 7 goes up there. Now in this column here, we don't yet have a 1, right? There is no 1. There is no 1. Sounds sad and lonely, doesn't it? There's no 1 in this column. Now, can a 1 appear down here? Answer is no. 2 ways of looking at it, really. We have a 1 blocking here and we have a 1 blocking here. Or you could just say this 1 automatically knocks out everything else within this block, right? We can't. A number can only appear once in its block. So these 2 squares are definitely out because of this 1 here. But in addition, we have a 1 there as well. So these are out. So that leaves just 2 more squares. Now, do we find any other intersecting ones? Yeah, you're right, of course. There's 1 here, meaning this can't be a 1. So we know that that is the last available slot. So we know that a 1 fits there. Down here, we don't have a 1 in this block yet. Can you see where the 1 will go? I'll give you a few seconds. Come on, come on. You're not as badly affected as lack of sleep as I am, I'm sure. Right, you found it. Okay, well done. 1 block's here, 1 block's here. So 1 must appear in that square there. Look and see which numbers are missing from this block. Have a look. Work out which numbers are missing. Okay, well done. Yes, 3 and 5. If you said 3 and 5, well done. If you said something else, check again. Sometimes you can make mistakes when playing Sudoku very easily, actually, for everybody. Well, this 3 stops this square from being 3, so we know the 3 is going to be there. And also, the 5 stops this from being a 5, so we know the 5 is going to be there. So, in fact, we have double information on this particular block down here. By the way, we sometimes call these squares cells, right? You might hear me say that we mention the word cell, or other players, when you're learning, mention the word cell. It's just one of these squares, okay? Right, now there's not much, I've looked up here and there's not much we can do up there. You might say, well, look, this, we've got all these numbers down here, we should be able to finish it off, but there aren't many intersecting numbers over here. So in fact, it's not that easy to do. So we'll just leave that and we'll look elsewhere, which is something you need to do. You need to look in other directions as well. Don't get hung up in one place the whole time. Now maybe this area down here is a better place to look. So let's looking for the numbers is the battle, of course, for this game. Now we have 2 blocking down here, so that square can't be 2. We have 2 blocking down here, so that can't be 2. And then we have a 2 here blocking that square, so no, no, no. Yes. Now, what numbers are missing from here? There are 3 empty squares. We know that there are 3 numbers missing. So we could count through and say 1, 2 we have. Do we have a 3? No. Can we get a 3? Yes, very easily, because look, there's 3 blocks across here like that. So 3 goes there. Now, the next thing we should do is when we spot a column or a row or a block with only 1 empty cell, that's one of these empty squares, we should do that next because we are guaranteed to know what it is. So look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, any 8? No, we've got 9. So 8 must be the missing number from that column. Okay. We'll have a look at the missing numbers down here and see what they are now. Actually, the missing numbers are 5 and 8. I'm not sure if you worked that out in yet, just had time to work that out, but they are, I'll tell you anyway, 5 and 8. Can we get the 5 and 8? We don't know anything about the 5 to begin with, but certainly the 8 we do. We see this 8 up here blocking that square. So 8 goes in this cell, and 5 is our last number now in this block, so we know 5 fits there. Right. Now, the missing numbers across here are 7 and 8. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No 7, no 8. We've got a 9. So we know that 7 and 8 have to fit into these two squares to complete this row. Now, I think you've seen it already that this 8 blocks this square, so we know that the 8 goes there, and the 7 must be in that square there. Sorry, I had a camera crash there. So I don't know exactly where the camera crashed, but I will tell you the last thing I did was I had 2 empty squares here, which was missing 7 and 8. So the 8 blocked here, I put the 8 here, and the 7 is the last number here. And then I think the camera crashed at that point. If not, anyway, we are now up to date. Now I was about to say, before I was rudely interrupted by a breaking webcam, because that's all I use, is that this 7 that we put in now blocks up here, and this 7 blocks up here. So we already have 2 of these columns up in the top block here knocked out. So no 7s can go in these 6 squares here. We also have 7 blocking along here and 7 blocking along here. So we can get our first number in this empty block of 9 here. We know that 7 has to fit there. Right, now this is another Sudoku trick that you will need if you're new to the game. There aren't any 1s in this row here, right? There aren't any 1s whatsoever. Now I want you to look down and find out if there are any intersecting rows. I'll give you a couple of minutes. In fact, I'll have a drink while you do that. Okay, go ahead, do it. Right, are you ready? Okay, well done. This is what I hope you noticed. First up, we have an intersecting 1 here. This cannot be 1. Over here, we have an intersecting 1 here. This cannot be 1. Down here, we have an intersecting 1 here. This cannot be 1. So no, no, no. Guess what? There's just 1 empty square left, and we must have a 1 for this row, so we know that the 1 fits there. Okay, that kind of trick you will need to use all the time. Here's another interesting trick that you can use. The number will stay on this row, okay? This is another typical Sudoku trick that you can often use. Now, there are 3 empty squares, so we need to find out what they are. And in fact, if you count through, you'll find that they are 3, 5, and 8. We've got 1, 2, 4, 6, 7, 9. 3, 5, and 8 are missing, so 3, 5, and 8 must fit into 3 squares, 3 numbers in those 3 squares. Now, the thing that I want to show you first of all is this. This square here, do we find any 3s? Oh, yeah, we do. Do we find any 5s? Yes, we do. Well, we are not going to find 8s, because if we had 3, 5, and 8 blocking this square, then it would be a mistake. It would mean we got it wrong. We have to start again. Just throw it away, start again. But we don't. We have 3 and 5 both blocking the same square. So if this can't be 3 and can't be 5, by logic, it has to be 8, because there are only 3 empty squares and they are filled by 3, 5, and 8, right? Right, now we've only got 2 empty squares left, and we know we've put the 8 in already, so now we know only 3 and 5 are the numbers remaining for this row. Now we can see an intersecting 5, so we can put our 5 there, and we can put our 3 just there. Now the 5 blocking down here and 5 blocking across here means that 5 must go in this square. Now do you see there's only 1 empty square here, so this is the next thing we should do. We're missing a 3 in this row, so let's place it now. Okay. See, the grid is starting to fill up all over the place now, isn't it? Not just this area that we started before. Now we've got kind of L shape that's quite filled in already. But we have to keep moving and keep looking at different places, okay? Now let's see what's missing from this column, shall we? When we examine it carefully, we find that the missing digits are 3 and 4. They go in this square and this square, this square and this square, this square. 3 and 4. Got the answer? Got it? Got it? Got it? Come on, come on, come on. Okay, well done. Yes, this 3 stops this square from becoming a 3. So 3 goes there, and 4 is in that square there. Now this 4 blocks across here, 4 blocks across here, and 4 goes up there. 4 is in that square there. By the way, I haven't mentioned it already, but you have to try these games for yourself. Don't just watch these videos. Make sure you practice. Go to the links that are in every video description that I have on my channel and try for yourself. And don't worry, nothing bad happens when you fail, right? If you make a mistake, and we all make mistakes, nothing terrible happens. You know, nobody invades your country because you failed at Sudoku. Right. 3 blocking down here, 3 blocking up here, 3 across here. So that's a 3 there. Now what I said to you before about the 3 numbers. Can you find, okay, in this block here, there are 3 missing numbers, 3 empty squares, so 3 numbers missing. They are 2, 6, and 9. Have a look for yourself at the trick that I showed you before when you have 3 numbers missing. Have you seen it? Okay, I hope so. If not, I'll tell you the answer now. This square here, in this row, is blocked by a 2. But also this square is blocked by a 6. So remember, it's 2, 6, and 9 that we need to complete this block. So if this can't be 2 and can't be 6, it's got to be a 9. Now this 9 blocks across here, 9 blocks across here. We still don't have a 9 in this block here, this central block. So we'll place our 9 there, like so. The missing 2 numbers for this central block here are 3 and 6. Now either way you look at it, you've got information, 3 blocks here or 6 blocks here. Whichever way you found that, you've got the same answer. Now up here we've got 2 empty squares, but I can see immediately we don't have any intersecting numbers that will allow us to find the answer. I'm not going to bother even looking here because there's only a 7 here. We've already got 7. So I know that we cannot find these 2 squares here. So I won't waste my time looking there because I know that I can't find it. All right, it's not possible. What we will do instead is examine the columns. So oh look, here's one that I missed. Look, here's only 1 empty square, and I said to you, when you see only 1 empty square in a place, you should go there next, and that of course is what I must do right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We don't have a 6. We've got 7, 8, and 9, so we know that the 6 goes there. Right, what else do we need now? Now, I can tell from experience what we ought to be looking at is this 3 blocking across here like this, because that's going to leave 2 empty spaces, and down here we've filled everything else up. So 3 blocking across here and actually 3 blocking up here. So that means 3 has to be in this square here, right? Blocking up here, blocking across here. And now we've got only 1 number missing here, and this is a 5. Now 5 stops this square from becoming a 5. We still need a 5 in this block here, so that's a 5, and the last number there is a 4. Now this 4 blocks across here like this, and this 4 blocks up here and up here, so we know that that has to be a 4. I hope the camera's not going to crash again before I finish this video. Yeah, that's a really loud motorbike. I don't have any soundproofing here when I make these videos, so sometimes they're very noisy. Here, I'm based in Bangkok, and it's a very noisy city. I love it, but it's a noisy place. 8 blocks up here, 8 blocks up here, and 8 blocks across here. So we know that that has to be an 8. What's left to get? Okay, this column here is the place to look. Can you see the missing numbers? Give you a few seconds to count through, or check out, if you can, which numbers are missing. Okay, I hope you've found out that 2 and 6 are the numbers that we need to complete this column. Now, do we have any intersecting 2s or 6s? Down here, no. But up here, yes, we do. We have a 6. So this can't be a 6. So we know that the 6 appears here, and we know that the 2 is the last number there. Now, also 2 is a number we need for this block or this row, same thing. 2 blocks down here, so our 2 will fit there. And the last number that we need here is a 6. Now that 6 will block up here, putting a 6 into that square there. Almost finished now, just a little bit more to do. What are the missing numbers here? They are 1 and 9, so we have the 9 blocking here. So the 9 goes here, the 1 goes here. That 1 stops this square from becoming a 1. So 1 goes up there, and 6 will... Sorry, see how easy it is? You've got to stay on your toes. Just at the end there, I almost made a faux pas. I was just about to put in a 6 when I meant to say 2, of course, will finish the grid. Yeah, but that, you know, it's so easy to make just a tiny mistake. There we are, giving you a confidence boost now, because you can see that even though I play this game a lot, occasionally we can all make mistakes, right? And if you are playing the game on pen and paper like this, it's a good idea to check once you've finished. Now, if you're playing on a computer solver, if you've entered the numbers into a computer solver, that's okay. The computer will check for you, but here the only computer is your own brain, so you have to look over the game and make sure that it's okay. That's it for today. As I say, there are lots of games for you to practice. I'm going back to bed now. Try to get a morning nap in, catch up on last night's sleep. Join me again, subscribe to the channel, come back whenever you feel like it. Bye bye.